Domination. This one is a particularly special video for me. Did a podcast about 2 weeks ago with Uchi Maniri, obviously former Jacksonville Jaguar. Talked a lot about his time as a Jaguar. You know, being a Colts fan, I got to watch a lot of Jaguar games, and I became very, very familiar with Donovan Darius.
Lightly, how the fuck?
Donovan Darius was one of those special players in terms of math. I always found a way to get Donovan on my team. A couple players I did that with. Always trying to find a way to get Al Wilson on my team. Always trying to find a way to get Mike Woody, Al Harris. You ever just have those guys, no matter what, traded draft picks, players, didn't matter. You wanted these players on your team. Mike Anderson, did this for a long time. Donovan Darius was always one of those guys I wanted in my second round. Donovan Darius.
You're trash, dude.
Donovan tried to apparently take his own life over the weekend, and kind of one of those things where, as you reflect back about what players mean to you, and a lot of times we never get an opportunity to tell a player how much they inspired us, how much we enjoy watching them play. Donovan Darius has no idea how many times I traded away players and draft picks just to get them on the bench. To be honest, I may not even care. But the fact of the matter is, this is a guy that I grew up in a sense watching. Many of us did. This guy played thousands and thousands of games against us. And obviously at this point he's in a position where he needs a little bit of support. So Donovan actually has a YouTube channel. Doesn't have a lot of views, unfortunately doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but he does have a video that I'm going to link down there.
Bro, fix this fucking shit. Like,
going through the things he goes to.
I bet dude if it switch already.
How much we appreciate it. And I'm hoping that you guys can take some time out of your day to click that video below, go over to his channel, leave him a thank you or some inspiration, or just let him know that you care. And that you don't want to see anything bad happen to him. You appreciate what he gave to the game, whether you're a Jaguars fan or not. So maybe when you get an opportunity to look at that video, you can see an influx of views and an influx of support and a bunch of people that want to see the best of the You guys can take just a few minutes out of your day. I know I would appreciate it, but there's no telling how much he would. Appreciate you guys checking us out. I will be in the week with more.
That's what we do.
Big strike, dry strike.
Our UAV is online.
What's Joe Rogan experience?
Look, I saw conspiracy theories that Connor threw the fight, or Cowboy threw the fight with Connor.
People
that
are
was
so
a fixed
stupid,
fight.
man. I had my cousins like, oh, I can't believe Cowboy would do that. I'm like, do what?
Do
fucking
what?
crap,
Yeah,
man.
do what?
Come
People
on.
are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was upset at Stephen A. Smith, and then
yeah,
he
man.
made a video
I said,
responding
yeah,
to me.
come on.
Listen, Stephen A. Smith, I guess I should respond, right? You're a very entertaining guy. I like you a lot. I appreciate the props you gave me in that video, but you're wrong.
Yeah.
Cowboy got fucked up with those shoulders in the clinch. He had Connor's arms tied up, and they're in tight spaces. Connor dips low and slams this bone of his shoulder into the nose, and he's at the beginning of the round. Connor's a fucking super explosive guy. Super explosive, all muscle, just fucking pulled tight at the beginning of the fight, and just bang, bang. He got off good shots, and Cowboy was confused.
I think he was flustered.
Flustered.
I don't think that those shots maybe rocked him.
They broke
his
his nose.
and that could rock him.
Well, he's got blood pouring out of his nose, so he's not breathing out of his nose now. And then all of a sudden he's like, fuck, my nose is already fucked up, and he hasn't even punched me yet.
Right.
You know, it was unusual. Like, I could see if someone has a peripheral understanding of the sport, and you see that happen, like, come on, man. Or even guys like Mike Bisping. Like, Mike Bisping was like, fucking shoulder strikes. Come on, shoulder strikes. But That said, Mike Bisping is without a doubt one of the toughest human beings that's ever walked the face of the planet. Like, if he lost an ear, like, you got another ear.
Yeah.
Like,
He fights with one eye.
He
I mean,
doesn't,
come on.
he doesn't give a fuck. He fought a giant chunk of his career against the best fighters in the world, including winning the title with one eye.
Yeah.
Michael Bisping is a fucking dyed-in-the-wool savage.
Yeah.
So if he's like, it's just shoulder strikes. That said, the shoulder strike didn't end the fight. The shoulder strikes definitely got him off on the wrong foot. Then Cowboy threw a kick to Connor's arms, and then Connor countered with a head kick. Rock Cowboy
that's what
bad.
that head kick
Rocked
rocked him
him.
good.
You see
Watch
his
that nigga,
legs
bro.
go, and then Connor
Bring
hits
one.
him with pistons. He
I don't
hits
get how
so hard.
people could say it was a work.
He broke his
Bruh,
fucking
really?
orbital.
He's about to kill me. He got old
Well,
this.
Stephen A. Smith
You ready
said
to
that
punch
he
him,
felt
bro?
like Cowboy quit. He did not quit. He got smashed. He
You
got
can't say
smashed.
someone quit after getting their nose broke and rocked and a broken orbital. You can't say he quit.
It's also who you're talking about. You're talking about a guy who has the most fights in the UFC, the most finishes in the UFC, the most
Bruh,
head kick
my
knockouts
God,
in the
bruh.
UFC, the most bonuses in the UFC. Cowboy is a fucking
You know this the same
legend.
nigga from, like,
As
the
tough
first-
as they
like, the
come.
first match
He's
we
lost
played?
before.
Who?
Every human can lose.
That Reaper.
Especially if
That was
like
the same
guys
nigga
like
from earlier.
Till and Jorge
Yes, this nigga's
Masvidal
trash, like-
and these fucking animals he's fighting. He's fighting the cream of the crop, or Connor. And
Our
Conor
team just
broke-
can't stay
he
alive,
broke
bro,
his
like-
face. He broke his nose and he broke his orbital bone. So Stephen A. Smith responded, and then Connor responded. And
Yeah,
Connor,
I seen that.
Connor told him to apologize.
Yes.
And Connor's right.
Yeah, he is right. I mean,
He's right.
give Connor the credit a little bit.
I think the problem is Stephen A. Smith is a very entertaining guy and is very knowledgeable about other sports. This is not his wheelhouse, and also that style of dismissing athletes and putting people down, like
That's how he kind of made his name.
That's how he made his name, and it's fun to listen to. He's a fun guy to listen to.
Yeah.
He talks great shit, you know. But
I wonder, I mean, I'm sure basketball players are kind of saying the same stuff we're saying when he's criticizing basketball players, though, or football players, you know what I mean?
oh, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know too much about that. Jamie, you're a sports fan, right? Do they criticize him too? I mean, he's respected for sure.
Yeah, but that's the show he was on. It's like every day he's got to wake up and get his take, and they gotta talk about it for an hour.
And a lot of the takes, like the controversy, is like good.
Yeah, they gotta
Shock
get some
value.
shit to talk about. Yeah, and he had a
I
radio
know that
show
nigga is
3
not
hours
going no
after
fucking
that.
junk rap.
I'm
All
nasty.
day long.
Yeah,
That's
and,
that pussy
you know,
is. That
he's
nigga know he don't play no
that's people
fucking
like
junk
him.
rap.
See, hear someone passionate. You ever hear him and Teddy Atlas
Atlas, yeah.
argue after the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Teddy Atlas was like, Conor McGregor
How did he kill you?
made the best
Just shot
chef
grenades,
in the world
man.
be a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
fast food cook. That's it. Basically how they're like back and forth. The two of them yelling and arguing. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
I
That's
just think
that's his position, all right?
I just think that this sport demands more appreciation, more respect, and it demands a higher level of reverence to the athletes who literally put their lives on the line. It's
Yeah.
different.
I don't think you have to say the guy quit to describe what happened.
No, you could just talk about what Conor did that
Right.
was so special. Look, the guy finds tricky ways to do things, and those shoulder strikes. Look, we've seen guys do shoulder shrugs before, but we never saw anybody do it successfully. But you got to think about the UFC is a lot of what happens in the UFC is someone
tired.
out of all these fights finally does something, and then other people start doing that thing. Like, you remember when no one was throwing front kicks to the face? No one. For all
Anderson
those
and
fucking
Lyoto did,
years.
and then
Yep. All of a sudden, Anderson knocks out Vitor, who's like one of the elite strikers, knocks him out with a front kick to the face. And you're like, what the fuck?
and then you see everyone trying it.
Nobody ever did it. I don't remember anybody ever, even in kickboxing, people very rarely threw a front kick to the face. It just wasn't, you know, they would teep to
Right,
the
to the
face.
body, yeah.
But even teeps to the face was more like,
The range thing.
yeah, but all you were like pushing his face.
Right.
Like you very rarely, unless someone caught it perfect, saw a guy get knocked out with like a snap front kick with the ball of the foot. Now
It's almost
a lot
like
of
an
guys throw it.
uppercut the way it comes off the
Yeah,
knees.
dude, it's a fucking devastating technique
Yeah.
when done correctly. I mean, Justin Buchholz got a KO with it outside of the UFC that's devastating. Lyoto Machida did that jumping front kick.
Bizarre just said, "Get find cover."
blew up.
Fucking front kick to the face. That's a legit technique. But then you see everybody doing that, like low calf kicks, right? First guy I ever saw do it was
You better not die, bro.
Benson really got into those low calf
Did it
kicks.
to me.
Yeah, like, those are rough, man.
Yeah.
But now everybody throws those
Yep.
kicks. You gotta think of how many years went by before people were not throwing low cap kicks. I guarantee you now,
Repro
when
talk.
people get tied up
He
in
just
the
fucking.
clinch,
I know you hear that
someone's
nigga just
holding
talking his
someone
ass off.
with double
Yeah.
overhooks or whatever. I don't remember how Connor had a hold of, or Cowboy had a hold
Got
of
him.
Connor.
Over under, right?
Over under, was it
I
over
think,
under?
Yeah.
When someone's tied up in the clinch and you can't strike, you're gonna see
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
do that.
100%.
Because this is a bone, man.
Yeah.
This is a
I'm
fucking
finna
bone
fucking
right
die,
here.
It's
bro.
just something to distract you, you know, to move to something else.
But this, where your shoulder, the top of your shoulder,
Right.
that's fucking hard.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not the ideal thing to strike with, but when there's nothing else there, there's something there. Yeah, it's. I could see how Steven Smith would not think that that was effective. I could see. But for me, it was clearly effective. There were hard shots. There's a lot
It's
of power,
trash
there's
ass.
a lot of explosion.